nomenclature of a saturated hydrocarbons. The nomenclature of a saturated hydrocarbons. Here there are two types of a straight alkanes, saturated hydrocarbon alkanes. Number one, straight chain alkanes. Number two, branching. In straight chain alkanes there will be no any branching, that means it is unbranching. So the IUPAC name only with the help of root, word root and primary suffix we can use. Are you getting my point? Suppose if it is two carbons are there, two carbons we have word root eth and suffix will be an, eth plus an, that will be ethane. Like that we can use the IUPAC name of a unbranched straight chain alkanes. Okay, now here the list of 1 to 12 unbranching straight chain, nothing but the linear alkanes. Okay, CH4 methane, C2H6 ethane, C3H8 propane, butane, pentane, hexane, heptane. Okay, octane, nonane, decane, undecane, dodecane. Okay, now come to branching. In case of branching, here apart from the straight line there will be a side chain also. In these alkanes at least one carbon atom is linked with how many other carbon atoms? 3 or 4 carbon atoms. 3 or 4 carbon atoms. Yes or no? Here you see, let's suppose in this example this carbon is connected to 1, 2, 3 other carbon atoms. Okay, minimum 3 or 4 other carbons. If any carbon atom is connected, such alkane is a branched chain alkane. Okay, now in this branched chain alkane on the second carbon, this will be first, second, third. Second carbon there is a methyl group is present. Okay, so 2-methyl propane. Here there are 4 carbons are there, that's why butane, 2-methyl butane. Here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I will explain how to take in the numbering. So this will be the 2-methyl pentane. Here important thing will be the common names. This is isobutane, this is isopentane, this is isohexane. Okay, and the common name here if you see, this is neopentane and this will be the neohexane. Now what is the meaning of iso and neo? This is very very important. To distinguish the straight chain alkanes from the branched chain alkanes, we are using some prefixes iso, neo. What is the meaning of prefix iso and neo? The prefix iso is used when the second carbon of a branched chain alkane carry only and only one CH3 group. If only one methyl group is present on the second carbon, then that will be iso. If second carbon possesses 2 methyl groups, then that is called neo. Are you getting my point? Suppose this is a branched chain alkane. Suppose on the second carbon if I am writing the 1 methyl group, then this is called iso. And total how many carbons are there? 5. So this is known as a isopentane. Okay. Suppose to the branched chain alkane, if second carbon possesses 2 methyl groups, second carbon possesses how many methyl groups? 2 methyl groups. Then this is called neo. This is called what? Neo. Total how many carbons are there? 6 carbons are there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So neohexane. Okay. And naming of alkyl groups. In alkane, if you remove one hydrogen atom, the residual portion obtained is called alkyl. In alkane, if you removing hydrogen, that means alkane, if you subtract A and E and add the YL, if you subtract the A and E and add the YL to get alkyl, you will get what? Alkyl. Suppose one carbon is there, methyl. 2 carbon atoms are there. If you removing one hydrogen, this is a free valency. This is the free valency ethyl. Now come to the 3 carbon chain. In 3 carbon chain, there are 2 possibilities. If you want to removing the hydrogen from the terminal carbon, nothing but primary carbon. Otherwise, you are removing the hydrogen from the secondary carbon. Suppose if you are removing the hydrogen from the primary carbon, that means the hydrogen is removing from the primary carbon. So you will get the straight chain, that will be N-propyl. Just now I told you N stands for normal open chain. Suppose if you remove the hydrogen on the second carbon, that is the secondary carbon, you will get this is the free valency, this is called isopropyl. This is called what? Isopropyl. Now here suppose 4 carbons are there and 4 carbons are present in the straight chain, that's why this is called N butane. N stands for once again normal open chain straight chain. Now in N-butane there are two possibilities to remove the hydrogen. So terminal hydrogens always primary and in between them there are secondary hydrogens. So there are two possibilities. Shall I remove primary hydrogen or shall I remove secondary hydrogen? If I remove the primary hydrogen, so I will get the CH3, CH2, CH2, CH2. Now this is called N-butyl because it is also straight chain. Suppose if I remove the secondary hydrogen, then I will get the CH3, CH, CH2, CH3. So here this carbon will be secondary carbon. That's why this butyl is called secondary butyl. Yes or no? And next one, this is the isobutane. This is what? Isobutane. In this isobutane also, there are two different types of carbon and hydrogens. That is the primary carbon and next one will be the tertiary carbon. If I removing the hydrogen from the primary carbon, I will get the isobutyl. If I removing the hydrogen from the tertiary carbon, I will get the tertiary butyl. I will get the tertiary butyl. Okay. Now come to the systematic nomenclature of the branched chain alkanes. How to naming the branched chain alkane? There are certain important rules we have to cover. The first rule will be the select the longest continuous carbon chain as a parent chain. Okay. Suppose in the compound the structure will be given like this. Okay. Now all possibilities we have to check. So we have to select the longest continuous carbon chain as a parent chain. Suppose if I am giving the numbering 1, 2, 3. This will be 4. How many carbons will be 4 in this direction? Only 4 carbon atoms will be present. Okay. Now come to another option. Total we have this structure. Now again I am taking 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yes. This is the 6 carbon containing continuous chain. Here only 4 carbon continuous chain. Here I will get the 6 carbon continuous chain. Are you getting my point? That means we have to consider the maximum number of carbon atoms that must be present in the continuous carbon chain, which is known as a parent chain. So what will be the first rule we have to follow? Select the longest continuous chain as a carbon chain. Okay. Suppose if I am taking now, suppose if this is the carbon skeleton I given. Now I have to consider the total number of carbon atoms that should be maximum. So 1, 2, 3. Okay. Next chain will be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Next chain will be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay. How many carbons here? 8 carbons are there. Okay. Next to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 carbons only I have. Okay. So maximum carbons will be how much? 8 carbons. How they are obtained here? In this direction they are obtaining total 8 carbons. What are the total 8 carbons here? Here from here to here. That means 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Otherwise 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So overall there are how many maximum carbons in the continuous carbon chain? 8. That 8 carbon continuous chain will be considered as a parent chain. That is the first point. Okay, first select the longest chain. Don't give the numbering. Numbering will be given from the second rule. Selection of the longest chain will be the first rule. Okay, now in this you see total 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. From in this direction if you see total how many carbons will be present? 5. In this direction if you see total how many carbons will be present? Only 4. But in this direction you will get maximum how many carbons you have? 7 carbons. You 1, 2, 3, 6 carbons you have. Total how many maximum carbons? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This is the first case. First rule, not case. What is the first rule? Select the longest continuous chain as a carbon chain, as a parent chain. Second one, suppose if more than one long chains are present with equal length, then how to select the principal chain? The chain which containing the maximum number of substituents or side chain is treated as a parent chain. Are you getting my point? Suppose in the above example, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 carbons I am taking, and in the side chain also I am taking the 3 carbons. Okay. Now same structure I am writing here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This is the 1 carbon, here also 2 carbons. Now you see, now what I am doing, I am taking the largest number of carbon atoms, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So here there are 6 carbons will be present in the longest continuous chain. Here also there are 6 carbons will be present in the longest continuous chain. You see, here also 6 carbons will be present, here also 6 carbons will be present in the longest continuous chain. Then the question arises, which will be taken as the parent chain? Here the parent chain will be considered that long chain which containing the large number of the side chain. Side chain in the sense substituent. Now in the first case, if you see, only one substituent will be present as a side chain. Okay. But whereas in this case, there are 2 substituents are present as a side chain. Okay. So in first case, only one substituent will be present. Only one substituent will be present. But in the second case, 2 substituents will be present. 2 substituents will be present. So if both have equal length of parent chain, then select that parent chain which containing the maximum number of substituents. So this chain is correct and this chain will be incorrect. Yes or no? Now come to the third point, numbering. How to numbering the carbon atoms? While numbering the carbon atoms, we have to always keep in our mind that the substituent carbon should get the lowest number. The substituent carbon will be get the lowest number when only single substituent is present. Suppose 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Let's suppose here one substituent is there. What are the possibilities we can write the numbering? From left to right or right to left? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Other possibility, right to left, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Now tell me which numbering will be correct. The substituent carbon will get always lowest number. Now from left to right, if you see, from left to right, on the third position, on the third carbon there is a one substituent. But from right to left, if you see, on the right to left there will be a fifth carbon or fifth position will be the substituent. So lowest number will be, lower position will be what? Third position. So that's why the numbering given from left to right will be always correct. But from right to left the numbering will be given is incorrect. Once again I am repeating third point. In third point, if only one substituent is present, then give the numbering of carbon atoms to the parent chain in such a way that the substituted or substituent carbon should get the lowest possible number. Lowest possible number. Okay. Suppose if more than one substituent, that means 2 or more than 2 substituents are present, then give the priority to the lowest set of locants. This is very, very important. Lowest set of locants. According to lowest set of locants, let's suppose I am taking one example here. Here this is the first example I am taking. Okay. Now in this case, same example I am repeating here. Now I have to give the numbering from which direction, that should be very important. Because here more than one substituent. Here one substituent is there. Here also one substituent and here also one substituent, because I am considering this is the parent chain, because 5 carbons are there in the parent chain. So 5 carbons are there in the parent chain and the side chain substituent will be methyl, methyl, and here also methyl. Okay. Now suppose if I am considering the number from left to right, let's suppose 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Otherwise from right to left 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now from left hand side to right hand side, from left to right, if I consider the numbering, so on which position substituent will be present? Substituent location on the second carbon, one methyl, and another methyl is also present. That means we have to repeat the number twice, because two identical groups will be repeated on the same carbon, so the position will be repeated twice. And one more substitution will be present on which position? Fourth position. Come to right to left, on the second position one substituent, and fourth position there are two substituents. Yes or no? On the fourth carbon two methyl groups are present. On the second carbon two methyl groups are present. Now you see lowest set of locant. The priority here first on second carbon, here substitution is present from left to right. Yes or no? Or right to left also on the second carbon substitution is present. Now come to the next position of substitution will be second carbon, but from right to left there is a fourth carbon. So second is lowest, otherwise fourth one is lowest. Second one will be the lowest. This is called lowest set of locant rule. That means if you give the numbering from left to right or right to left, the lowest locant rule, that means the substitution carbon should possess the lowest number. If the second position is also same, then go for the third and fourth position, unless until if you are unable to decide the priority. Once the priority will be decided, then from that direction only we have to give the numbering. Yes or no? Yes or no? So this is called lowest set of locant rule. I will tell you one more example. Suppose if I am taking one cyclic compound, let's suppose in cyclic compound, let's suppose I am taking the 6 carbon containing carbon. So this is 1 methyl and this is 1 methyl. So there are 2 methyl groups here I am taking on the same carbon, and I am taking the next adjacent carbon methyl group. Okay. Same structure I am repeating. Now the numbering of carbon atoms can be done either in clockwise or in anti-clockwise. Yes or no? Clockwise or anti-clockwise. Let's suppose I am starting the numbering from this carbon 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Otherwise I am taking from right to left to, that is anti-clockwise 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There are two possibilities. Yes or no? Now in this case, on the first carbon two substitutions are present. So that's why the number 1 should be repeated twice. And next on the second carbon only one substitution is present. So overall the location of substituent will be 1, 1, 2. But in case of second structure, one substitution on the first carbon, and second carbon there are two substitutions, so number will be repeated twice. Okay. Now you see the priority. Here number 1 will be common in both the cases, but on the second case, second number, if you see this is the first number, this will be the second number. So first number will be the lowest number as compared to second. That means the numbering must be always done from clockwise direction. Yes or no? That means the numbering will be, this is the right numbering and this will be the wrong numbering. Okay. Now come to the next one. Suppose if the lowest set of locant rule is failed, that means from both the directions the position of the substitutions will be same. That means at equidistance from both the ends, if the substituents are present, then, are you getting my point? Give the priority according to the alphabetical order of the name of the substituents. Suppose if you see from left to right 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Right to left 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. From left to right, where the locations are substituents are located on the third carbon and the sixth carbon. Okay. From right to left also, if you see from right to left also third carbon and sixth carbon. That means from left to right or right to left, the locants will be present on the same position. That means from equidistance. In that case, we have to go for the name of the name of the substituent alphabetical order. Okay. Now you see, what is the name of this single carbon? Methyl, and two carbons will be ethyl. Now you see, in methyl and ethyl, which letter will be comes first in alphabetical order? E will be comes first. So that's why we have to give the priority. We have to give the priority to ethyl substituent. Are you getting my point? So to ethyl substituent, the location will be lowest number. So this will be 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yes or no? Once again I am repeating. From both ends, if the substituents are present at the equidistance, then give the priority to the alphabetical order of the name of the substituent. Okay. Now here, are you getting my point? The same example. So numbering 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Left to right, this numbering will be incorrect and this number will be correct, because ethyl will get the most higher priority as compared to the methyl, because ethyl group, just wait, ethyl group will get the higher priority because of alphabetical order. So that's why numbering must be always done from right to left, not from the left to right. And one more example you see. So this is the 4 carbon atoms in the parent chain. Numbering must be done 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Are you getting my point? Suppose from left to right 1, 2, 3, 4 or right to left 1, 2, 3, 4. Which numbering will be correct? Because 2, 3. Right to left also 2, 3. Then go for alphabetical order. In chlorine and bromine, so bromo and chloro, which letter will comes first in alphabets? B. So numbering must be, lowest locant should be the bromine. That means second numbering will be correct and first numbering will be wrong. Yes or no? Now, and one more important thing, while we are using the alphabetical order, iso and neo, these are considered as a part of the name of the alkyl groups, and prefixes secondary, tertiary, di, tri, tetra, penta, they do not consider in the alphabetical order. This is very important. Iso, neo consider in the alphabetical order of the name of the alkyl groups, whereas the secondary, tertiary, di, tri, tetra should not consider in the name of the alkyl group. This is very important. Suppose if the alphabetical name is also same, then what we have to do? Okay. Suppose here we have total 8 carbons, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay. Now on the fifth carbon, you see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, from right to left or left to right, fourth carbon. Third and fourth and fifth carbon, there are 2 substituents are there on the fourth carbon and fifth carbon. Okay. Left to right or right to left, that means 4, 5. That means here lowest locant rule is failed. And also name of the substituent, if you see, this is called chloroethyl. Chloroethyl. It is also chloroethyl. Yes or no? Here the name of the substituent, if you observe, having the same name, chloroethyl, but the thing is the location of the chlorine will be different. You see, this is the bond that is connected to the, directly connected to the parent chain. The carbon which is directly connected to the parent chain is taken as the number 1. Okay, and the next carbon will be number 2. The directly connected carbon to the parent chain is 1 and the next carbon will be 2. In this case, the chlorine will be on the second position. In this case, chlorine will be present on the first position. Okay. Now, when the name of a substitution is also same and the lowest locant rule is failed, then give the priority to the chain which containing the substituent at the lowest number. That means here the chlorine will be present on the first carbon. Here chlorine will be present on the second carbon. The lowest will be the first carbon. That's why we are doing the numbering from right to left. Once again, Once again, I am repeating, if the lowest locant rule is failed and alphabetical order is also failed, then go for the position of a substituent on the side chain. Where the substituent will be present on the lowest locant, that will be first preference. So in this case, the chlorine will be present on the first carbon. But whereas in this case, the chlorine will be present on the second carbon. So right to left numbering will be correct. Are you getting my point? Next, when the same alkyl groups are occur more than one time, okay, then we have to use some prefixes di, tri, tetra, etc. Yes or no? This is very important. And one more important thing, and these di, tri, tetra do not consider in the naming of alphabetical order of the alkyl groups. Okay. Now what about the naming of a complex substituents? What is the meaning of a complex substituent? It is the substituent which contains further substitution. The substitution which containing the further substitution, that is called complex substituent. Are you getting my point? Suppose we have one parent chain like this and we have some side chain like this. This is the parent chain. Okay. Side chain containing two carbons. Again in the side chain there is also one branching is there. This is the side chain. Again this is the branching. That means substituent containing the further substitution is called complex substituent. An alkyl group is said to be complex in case of one or more carbon atoms are further substituted. That means it is a substituted substituent. Okay, in that case, how to naming the complex substituent? Let's suppose we have total how many carbons are there? 7 carbons. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay. Now on the fourth carbon, either from left to right or right to left, again there are 4 carbons. Yes or no? Now what is the parent chain here? Obviously 7 carbons. Okay. Now numbering must be either left to right or right to left. No need to bother about this, because on the fourth carbon only the substitution is present. Now come to what is the name of this substituent? Okay, this substituent is called complex substituent. Is called what? Complex substituent. Why it is called complex substituent? Because in this substitution already there are two other substituents. Already there are two other substituents are present. That's why this is called complex substituent. Now how to naming the complex substituent? The carbon of a side chain which is directly attached to the parent chain is treated as a first carbon atom. The number 1 carbon atom will be given to that carbon of a complex substitution which is directly connected to the main parent chain. Are you getting my point? After getting the number 1, then give the next continuation number to this one or this one or this one, any one. Continuously we have to give the number. Okay. That means in complex substitution, 2 carbons are in the main in the straight chain and 2 carbons are in the branches. So this is the branching carbon, that is the side carbon. Are you getting my point? Now here these two are substituents in the substitution. So they are methyl. So 1 comma 1 I am writing the dimethyl. On the first carbon of a side chain there are 2 carbons are present. They are known as a methyl. So 2 methyls are there, 1 dimethyl. Are you getting my point? And the main side chain has 2 carbons. 2 carbons means ethyl. Are you getting my point? 1 dimethyl ethyl. It is the name of the substituent. That is the complex substituent. Okay. Now one more important thing. Whenever we are writing the name of a complex substituent, we have to write the name of a complex substitution in the bracket, because to avoid the confusion with the uncomplex substituent, because whether it is complex substitution or whether it is a simple substituent, to avoid the confusion we are writing the name of a complex substitution within the bracket. Are you getting my point? So on the fourth carbon there is a complex substitution. Whenever we are writing the name and number, there must be a hyphen. So on the fourth carbon there is a complex substitution. The name of a complex substitution 1 comma 1 dimethyl ethyl. Okay, dimethyl ethyl. After writing the name of a complex substitution, please enclose it in the bracket. And finally you have total how many carbons? 7 carbons. What will be the word root? Hept. And what is the secondary prefix? An. Hept plus an, we can write heptane. Are you getting my point? Suppose I am taking one more example of a complex substituent case. Let's suppose this one. So maximum how many carbons? 1 2 3 4 5 6 7. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7. Just wait, I am taking the one more carbon here. So maximum how many carbons are there in the given compound? 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 carbons. I think this is the maximum number of carbon atoms, because if you see in any other direction there will be no more than 8 carbon atoms. Okay, after that what will be the side chain here? This will be the branching. This will be the branching. Okay, this branched carbon will treat it as a first carbon and come to the next second carbon. It is also second. Next here third carbon is there. So that's why we have to take the maximum number of carbons in the branching. That means in branching also we have the long chain 3 carbons. And one substitution is present. This is a substituent present in the substitution. So this is the overall complex substituent. This is total complex substituent. Okay, now on the first carbon what is present? Methyl group is present. Total 3 carbons are there, propyl. Total 3 carbons are there, propyl. This will be the name of a complex substituent. It is present on the which carbon? I am giving the numbering 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8. Left to right lowest number will be 4. So that's why I am writing 4 in bracket 1 methyl propyl. Total 8 carbons are there. That's why I am writing octane. Okay, now one more important thing, it may be noted that while deciding the alphabetical order of the various substituents, the name of a complex substitution, it is considered begin with the first letter. It is considered with the first letter. Are you getting my point? Suppose in this example you see total how many carbons are there here? In the long chain 10 carbons are there. Okay, longest chain. So 10 carbons means decane. Now come to numbering 1 2 3. On the third position there is a substitution. So that's why I am giving the numbering from left to right. Okay, and one more important thing, on the fifth carbon there is a side chain. Okay, so CH CH CH3, but there is a one more side chain is there. This is a complex substitution. This is completely complex substitution because there is a one more side chain in the side chain. Okay, substituent present in the substituent is a complex substituent, is known as what? Complex substituent. Now it is attached to which carbon? Fifth carbon. This will be the first carbon, second. Now we have first carbon methyl, second carbon methyl. So shall I write 1 comma 2 dimethyl. Total 3 carbons are there in the side chain of a complex substituent. So this is known as 1,2 dimethyl propyl. Okay. Now here on the third position you have ethyl. Third position you have which substituent? Ethyl. Now obviously in a simple substitution, okay, methyl and ethyl, we have to consider alphabetical order ethyl. But in case of complex substituent, just now I told you the first letter of a name of a complex substituent must be considered. What is the first letter of a complex substituent? Here D, dimethyl. Okay, Now here this D must be considered in case of whom? Complex substituent. But whereas in simple substituents we should not consider. Now out of D and E, which letter will be comes in first alphabets? D will comes first. So that's why I am writing 1,2-dimethyl propyl first of all, and after that 3-ethyl. Yes or no? This will be very important. In case of a complex substituent, the first letter of the substitution must be considered in alphabetical order while giving the priority. Are you getting my point? Now, when the lowest set of locant rule is failed, and the alphabetical order of the name of the complex is also failed, then how to numbering the carbon atoms in the parent chain? Suppose this is the example. In this case, if you see, total how many carbons are there in the parent chain? 10 carbons are present. Okay, you see from left to right, you will have 5th carbon and 6th carbon substitutions. On the right side also 5th carbon and 6th carbon. So from both ends the position of locants will be same. Okay, and now come to the what will be the name of the complex substituent. Now here this will be the first carbon, this is the pair, this is the side chain, first carbon, second and third carbon. So 3 carbons are there propyl, but on the second position methyl is there, so that's why 2-methyl propyl. Okay, here on the first carbon of the side chain you have methyl, so I am writing this name will be 1-methyl propyl. Okay, in both the cases you see methyl propyl is same, here also methyl propyl is the same, but the thing is the lowest locant on which carbon? First carbon, otherwise second carbon. Lowest locant will be the first carbon. So first carbon will be the lowest locant. That's why we are giving the numbering from left to right. Are you getting my point? We are not going to give the numbering from right to left, because from left to right only the substitution will be present on the lowest locant, lowest number carbon. Are you getting? Suppose if two complex substitutions are present of equal length, the complex substitution with large number of alkyl groups must be the part of the longest chain, while other will be the complex substituents. Suppose I will explain with one example here. You see, so total there are 10 carbons here. Longest continuous chain, if you see, total there will be how many carbons? 10 carbons will be present. Okay. Suppose if I take the 10 carbons like this, this will be the longest continuous carbon chain. Okay, now according to this, numbering must be done from right to left, because from right to left, if you see, on the third position and on the 5th position there are 2 substitutions. Okay, so this is the one way of writing the numbering. Now according to this, so on the 5th carbon there is a complex substituent. Yes or no? The name of this complex substitution will be 2,2 dimethyl so here numbering will be 1, 2, 3, 4 carbons. Again there are 2 substitutions on the second carbon, so 2,2 dimethyl, total 4 carbons are there, butyl. This is on which carbon? 5th carbon. Okay, on the 5th carbon 2,2 dimethyl butyl. Okay, and next on the third carbon you have ethyl substitution. Just now I told you, in complex substitution the prefix, the first letter will be considered in name of the first letter of a complex substitution will be considered in the alphabetical order. That's why dimethyl I am writing first, then after that ethyl decane. This is the one possibility. Okay, next one more possibility will be there, 10 carbons if you see. So this will be the 10 carbon containing chain, longest carbon atom containing chain. So this is also we can treat it as a longest carbon containing parent chain. Okay, now in this case you see, you are getting the 3 substitutions, where here the first substitution, okay, and one more substitution, and one more substitution. So there are maximum number of substitutions here we have. So this is the selection of the parent chain, and this is not the selection of the parent chain. Are you getting my point? In this second case only we are considering how many substitutions we have, only 2. But in the first case we have 3 locants. 1, this will be the 2, and this will be the third locant. Okay. Now come to the numbering. Here the first carbon, second carbon, this will be third, this will be fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, eighth, ninth, and 10th. Okay. Now here on the fifth carbon you have again 1, 2, 3, 4. This is called 2 ethyl, because on the second carbon 2 carbons are there. Okay. 2 ethyl butyl. Okay, so this is the complex substitution 2 ethyl butyl. Okay, on the fifth carbon, and on the third carbon 3,3 dimethyl. Now this methyl is a simple substitution, so we should not consider the alphabetical order. Only we have to consider the di in case of a complex substitution only. Methyl is a simple substitution. Are you getting my point? So the first naming will be correct, and the second naming will be incorrect. Yes or no? Now, one more point is there. If the same complex substitution, if the same complex substitution will be occur more than one time. In case of a simple substitution, if same substitution will be more than one time, we can use di, tri, tetra, etc. prefixes. Similarly, in case of a complex substitution, we use bis, tris, tetrakis, pentakis, hexakis, etc. Bis corresponding to 2 similar, tris corresponding to 3 similar complex substitution, tetrakis corresponding to 4 similar complex substitutions, and pentakis corresponding to 5 complex substituents. And one more important thing, this bis, tris, tetrakis, pentakis, they are not considered as a part of the alphabetical order. Are you getting my point? This is very important. Suppose we have one example here. Here we have carbon, 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 carbon. Total 6 carbons are there. Okay. Now here from right to left you see on the second carbon 1 carbon I am writing. On the third carbon also we are writing here CH, CH3 twice. Okay, here also CH, CH3 taken twice. This is isopropyl group. Are you getting my point? Now total, if you see, maximum how many carbons? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. How many maximum carbons will be present here? 6 carbons will be present. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So maximum you are getting the 6 carbons. So this will be the parent chain. Okay. Now here numbering must be done from right to left, because the lowest locant will be the third carbon. Okay. On the third carbon you have the, on the second lowest locant will be second carbon, you have the methyl group. On the third carbon you have the complex substitution. What is the complex substitution? This is called, again numbering will be 1, 2. So here on the carbon 1, again one methyl is there. So 1 methyl ethyl, this is the complex substitution. Now the complex substitution will be repeated 2 times. When the same complex substitution will be, if it is repeated 2 times, we can use a prefix bis. So that's why we are writing the bis. Okay. On which carbon this is repeated? On the third carbon. That's why we have to write the position twice. 3, 3 bis. What is the name of a complex substitution? Methyl, ethyl, and hexane. Hexane will be the parent chain. Okay. Now in this case, if you see, this will be the parent chain. Numbering must be done from the right to left. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 carbons are there. 10 carbons means decane. On the second carbon you have methyl group, 2 methyl. But on the fifth carbon you have complex substitution. In complex substitution again also we have to give the numbering. So this will be the first carbon, okay, this will be second, this will be third, okay, this will be the complex substitution. Again on the first carbon you have two methyl groups, so 1 comma 1 dimethyl propyl, this will be the complex substitution which occurs two times on the same carbon, okay. So that's why we are using the prefix bis. On which carbon it is repeated twice? On the fifth carbon. So that's why 5 comma 5 bis 1 1. Now you see in dimethyl we have to consider the D in alphabetical order. That's why D will comes first after only M will comes. That's why we are writing 5 comma 5 bis 1 1 dimethyl.
Sing that shit.